Thank you. Former Minnesota Congressman and former presidential candidate Dean Phillips joins me. Good afternoon, sir. And I guess as I look at all this, you know, I mean, it's terrible loss of life and terrible for the ICE agent. And I mean, there's no big winner in this. But I must admit, with everyone coming out and firing insults back and forth and tweets back and forth, when we have not seen all the videos from every direction, we actually have very little information. And, you know, and I just think that everybody on both sides of this are, you know, people are picking sides and picking facts, and I don't know where they get them, other than that we have a tragedy on our hands.
I'm glad you said that, Greta, because it's true, both sides. And we find ourselves in a really precarious time in American history. I was 1 year old when the Kent State episode happened. And it seems for my generation that we may be entering that time again with great national division, when our own uniformed agents are forced to take up arms against American citizens or those who are undocumented. And I have to say, there's a way to do this. Uphold the law, deport those who are undocumented in a little bit more humane way that protects American citizens. Because, Greta, this is inevitable. It's not the last time this will happen, and it's heartbreaking. And I'll just one more comment. Barack Obama, in his 8 years, deported 3 million undocumented people, 3 million. But he didn't do it by sending thousands of uniformed agents into communities, putting their lives at risk, along with bystanders, American citizens, and other human beings. And I just wish we could show a little compassion for both the ICE agents and those who are suffering because these families are deeply, deeply scared right now.
But I also back it up a little bit further, is that a lot of these host communities that, you know, in common communities that are a different party than President Trump are, you know, right from the get-go throwing, you know, fuel on the fires, talking about how they don't want them, the people don't want them. We're not quite that so sure. I know here in the District of Columbia, it feels a little bit safer than it did, you know, but I mean, there's a lot of, you know, people who have revved up people, so people take to the streets. I mean, it's not just, you know, didn't just start today.
No, you're right. And by the way, I love to see the federal government working with local municipalities and states to improve public safety. But going back to the Obama years, he deported 3 million people, Greta, 3 million. But we didn't have these episodes because he did it in a fashion that was effective without raising the temperature and the boiling point. And that's my whole argument right now, is I'm not opposed to upholding the law. I am opposed to doing it in a way that makes us, to the rest of the world, look like an America that nobody recognizes, including a lot of us citizens right now. And this is sickening. And for a Minnesotan, Greta, you know, a beautiful community that has been just ripped apart. I'm not blaming anyone in particular, but we need a president right now who can try to heal this country, acknowledge the realities of a country deeply divided, and not bring us to the precipice. What I'm deeply concerned about is a real risk of civil unrest in a way that none of us want to see.
I think that we have to look at the difference, is that, you know, President Obama, when he deported those 3 million peacefully, he didn't have the problem that the borders were open for 4 years, and we had so many people pour in, and people are, the border has literally been open. And, you know, and I guess it was almost inevitable that we'd get to this, but in an effort to sort of try to rectify that, rightly or wrongfully, how the Trump administration is doing, it's a different situation than what Obama had.
It's a different situation, Greta, but the tactic doesn't have to be different. Look, I think you know me, and hopefully the viewers do too. I want to see the law upheld. I don't want to have open borders and illegal, non-citizens who are running around in the streets, whether they be law-abiding or not. I think the rule of law is important, but there's a way to do it that I think is ethical, appropriate, and more effective. And I'm just going to say this. It's very difficult to see federal uniformed agents like we're seeing right now on the screen in my home community. I don't recognize it anymore, Greta. And I think anybody watching right now would be heartbroken to see what is going on in our country. All I'm saying is we can do this without sending in 2,000 troops and having in this case, Christy Nome showboat in front of the whole country. That's not the way to do this.
People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.